The world was shocked when the Titanic sank. The unsinkable ship Titanic sank on its maiden voyage, losing at least 1,500 lives, making it one of the deadliest maritime disasters in history. The sinking of the Titanic shattered the faith of an age and for each generation. You all are know that the Titanic hit an iceberg at 11:40 p.m. on the night of April 14, 1912 and sunk just over 150 minutes. The ship broke in two pieces at around 2:20 a.m. on April 15, and sunk, sending all remaining passengers into the watery grave. When the Titanic was hit hard and started sinking, it began sending out distress signals. There were three ships which were nearby before it sunk: the Sampson, the Californian and the Carpathia. Sampson was merely 7 miles away from the Titanic. They saw the white flares signaling danger, but because the crew had been hunting seals illegally, didn't want to be caught, they turned back and went the opposite direction away from the Titanic. The next ship was the Californian, which was only 14 miles away from the Titanic, but they were surrounded by ice fields and the captain looked out and saw the white flares. He felt the conditions weren't favorable, it was dark. He decided to go back to bed and said he'd wait until morning. The crew spent time convincing themselves that nothing was happening. The conditions aren't right and so we wait until conditions are perfect before going out. The last ship was the Carpathia. This ship was actually headed in a southern direction 58 miles away from the Titanic when they heard the distress cries over the radio. The captain of this ship sensed the distress and then turned the ship around and went full steam ahead through the ice fields. On the fateful night, Carpathia was the first ship to respond to distress of the Titanic. While making their way to the last known coordinates of Titanic, the crew were kept busy preparing to receive the surviving passengers, in order to ensure the rescue could be both as successful and swift as possible. This was the ship that saved the 705 survivors of the Titanic. This is one of the most heroic and perilous rescue efforts. When the captain looked back at the ice fields they had come through, he said someone else's hands must have been at the helm of this ship. Let us remember, the Titanic sent the distress signal to multiple ships shortly after midnight on April 15, 1912. Only the Carpathia arrived on the scene and saved the 705 survivors of the Titanic. Remaining 17 lives got lost in watery grave. It is said that if the other two ships had responded, all the people on board of the Titanic could have been saved.